Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne and you're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. Welcome to your daily Sun Sign Love Connection readings. It's very much an honor to be here with you, and I appreciate you taking the time. Time is a very, very precious commodity, and I am finding in this beautiful golden age, they call it, of my life, for that to be more and more prevalent, and especially in a season of Scorpio. And then additionally, the new moon in Scorpio that actually transpired late last night, early in the morning in United States, and then today in other countries. So yeah, Scorpio, just the value, the depth of who you are, who you want to be, ruled by Pluto, you know, the deepest part of you that hurts sometimes because you recognize, whether you're going to admit it or not, the truth of what really is going on inside of you. And not all of us want to face that, right? Not all of us want to acknowledge it. I mean, at some point in time, it comes to the forefront regardless, but it's just knowing that there's parts of you don't particularly like. We all have that happen. We all have that as a part of us. Coming to terms with that and accepting that is one of the most beautiful things I think can happen to a person, you know, and I saw a lot of that this year, of all things, and it surprised me, but it's okay. You know, I really started to understand where it was coming from, and it was necessary. So yeah, Scorpio is all about truth. So it's revealing the truth, digging for the truth. The truth shall be seen, like it or not. Now, as far as the sun sign readings, I am on the featured sun sign of Libra. And so the highlighted, for those that are new, I have a format where I pick 2 sun signs every day. And the featured is basically going in an order for the first sun sign so that you know where I am, and then you can come back accordingly to when your sun sign comes up specifically. And then the highlighted is what I pick right now in front of you. And that's so funny, I thought that. Well, it's Capricorn. Did we just do Capricorn yesterday as a highlight? We did, I'm pretty sure. So if we did, we won't be doing that today. Sorry, Capricorn. I don't want to do 2 highlights in a row. And the reality is then after I read the 3 major categories for the highlighted connection, then I go on to read an individual tarot message for every single sign in connection and, you know, relationship with Libra, because we all have all sorts of different people in our lives, right? With all different levels of love. Let me check this real quick. What I did find out was the last 3 readings were Libra in Cancer, Libra in Pisces, and Libra in Cancer, so I wasn't going to do those. But yeah, yesterday was Virgo and Capricorn, so let me just try again. Libra and, ooh, it's right on the cusp. I love that. Libra and Aries, we're doing it. Woo! I feel like I did just do that as well, but you know what? We're going to do it because Spirit wants that, and that's what I do. Or was it Aries and Libra that ended up coming up? I'm going to do it anyway. It doesn't matter. It was Aries and Virgo. Okay. Close enough. Thank you for your patience. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I talk a little bit about, if you're not interested in the definition or the, you know, a little bit of explanation about each sun sign and why I think there's great compatibility, because I always go for the positive aspects, just fast forward. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you. You know I love you for that. And if you want to be a subscriber, it just takes a moment. And once you do that, then you can push the notification bell, and it will let you know when I upload my videos, which are kind of random right now due to working again. And because I've had a lot of issues with my technology. Go figure. We had a lot of retrogrades, right? But guess what? I can officially say to you with such relief and optimism that we don't have any retrogrades. None. Nada. Mars is forward, you know, the inner planets, very important. Mars, Mercury. Venus happens to be in Libra, by the way, through the 21st. So that's really cool for the featured aspect of Libra today and all of their connections, because it affects love. And let's see, Pluto, Saturn, soon to be Neptune, Uranus, is all of them forward. It's just, it's amazing. And it's been a year of a lot of going backwards, right? And holding pattern, and you know, especially with the Mars for being in Aries in retrograde for 2 months. So it's building up steam. It just went forward. But it's beautiful. I can feel that energy. Things are going to open up, everyone. Pace is going to pick up. But Libra is about the air signs. Air signs, and there are 3 of them. There are 3 of each sign, an element, I should say. And that is all about the mind, all about words, expression, thinking, thoughts, you know, vocalizing, once again, expression through the lungs, the air, the pushing out, you know, the movement. Libra is a cardinal sign. They initiated the season of fall not too long ago, and they are initiators. They like to do things. They like to keep busy, active, social. I know a lot of Libras are very social. I am a Libra, and I have a lot of that past aspect of being social. My social is now through work and connecting in that way. So I'm more of a homebody, which is fine. I think that's going to change now that I've had to be home for way too much this year. But I feel that in me wanting to connect more in groups and things. So when I feel safest, will occur more than I have. And then, of course, with this ability, it's just fantastic. Libras like fairness. They love equilibrium. They represent the scales. They want to be a part and understand both sides and all sides of all circumstances. And the relationships are extremely important to them. And it doesn't have to be marriage. It doesn't have to be that one and only. It's everything. They want to thrive. They thrive in relationships. And, you know, they understand that they're not always going to agree. And what with the retrograde in Mars being in Aries, like I said, that is their polar opposite. So for 4 months and then now through January 6th, there's been some deep discussions and some controversy and some, you know, some disruption in relationships so that they can really get to the heart of the matter, not just smooth over things and pretend like it's not there. That's something that Libra will do just so that there can be some harmony and peace, because they don't like to fight. They don't like to say the wrong thing. They're very, you know, diplomatic, PC. They want everything to be, there's a compromise for them and everything. And it's a beautiful trait. They are ruled by Venus, in addition to Venus being in their sign right now. So they should have a lot more warmth in their connections and communications. And, you know, Mercury was a little hard on me with transportation, with technology. Communication didn't seem to be a real issue. Yeah, people misunderstand things. You have to repeat it maybe. Or I just started working again during the retrograde, and many reschedulings occurred, like it always does. I kind of keep note. But, you know, Libra loves loving, and they love art and culture and beauty, and, you know, they have a very feminine side because of the Venetian energies of the planet Venus, but they also have a very masculine, you know, mind, you know, like from here up is generally known as the masculine, heart down, feminine. We all have each in ourselves, right? So it's kind of an interesting balance, which is always something that Libras strive for. I'm not saying they're always balanced, but when they are, you really like them. You want to be around them. They're at their best. And it's a constant. They're always wanting to strive for that. So then we have Aries, and that's their polar opposite. And I just explained that there might have been more controversy, just maybe flying off the handle, maybe before Mars in Aries went into retrograde, but prior to that, there was just so much energy. And, you know, that's what fire signs are. That's what Aries is. It's fire, it's passion, it's motivation and movement and action and all those things. And they are the first sign. They are the leaders in the truth, because they are the first sign of the zodiac, and they are the first sign that represents spring. They're a cardinal, like a Libra. So there's that, you know, commonality that works. But very different in temperament and approaches in life, you know, because Libras of the mind, they're going to think things through and continuously think them through until they can figure it out. And quite contraire, the Aries is just like, boom, doing it. I've got an idea, we're going for it. Kind of exciting. And you know, a lot of times they're right on the money with that. They have good instincts, you know, but other times they're just like, oops, maybe I should have thought of that more. Let's try this, and they're on to the next thing, and it's beautiful. And they have big hearts, and they want to help people, and they're going to do that. But you know, they might have a flare up with their temper on occasion. You can swoon them and more, you know, settle that, I would say, with your tactic, diplomatic manners, Libra. So ruled by Mars, there's that energy that's always going to be there, you know. And I've met really quiet and subdued Aries, but for the most part, you know, they're around. They are in charge and they're confident, and it's beautiful. I love that. I admire them for that. And they're very, very truthful. They're like a child. That first number one naive kind of childlike energy kind of runs through their life, so they tend to look younger when they're older. So it kind of is in their benefit. But that is the definition to me of why these two really work, and why I see it often many, many times. In fact, many of the astrology connections that I've studied throughout the years tend to be the polar opposites that really work. That's 6 planets apart from each other this way and the other way, just exactly, you know, across from each other. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Let's see what now, with everything going forward and Venus, it's got to be a lot of beautiful energies and messages coming through for you, Libra. With this highlighted one, though, I'll read under 3 major categories, and I'll let you know what they are. And I finished with some beautiful oracle messages if you want to stick around for that. That would be good. And yeah, beautiful. One more to grow on. So if you're feeling a little more intensity and, you know, just emotion, even though it's a new moon, moons always bring out emotion in us. And the depth of the watery signs like Scorpio, it's intense, but it can be very romantic, and on an intimacy level, it can be extremely wonderful. This is the time, so I hope you were able to utilize that, because, you know, we always have that ability to an extent, but we have extra energies pulling and working for us. Go for it. These readings can be resonating with you the moment you hear them, or they may, you know, take a couple days, like energies do. There's no real concise time when it comes to spirituality. So don't give up and lose faith. So let me talk to you about the 3 major categories for this highlighted connection of Libra and Aries. The first one is the overall energy that led you to this reading, the kind of the catalyst of the reading, and you have the 2 of Pentacles. And I love it because to me it represents right off the bat that sense of balance that I told you about, that Libra really, really works on and wants in all aspects of their lives, and then therefore helping others to feel that way. And they do want to help others. They care a lot about other people. They want to listen and actually hear you. And when it comes to Pentacles, it's about stability. It's about practical. It's the grounded sign. It's the energy of Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, which we've had many, many planets in Capricorn, and that tends to fall in Libra's 4th house. So this whole year, and even before, has been very prominently about their home, their family, working through circumstances, you know, both good and bad, maybe moves that have been made for a lot of people I've known. And by the way, the home is your home, but it could be a job, because that's like a home. Sometimes we live there and do so much. Now this year I haven't been at my job for months until last month, but I also feel like it has to do with your emotional state, and I know it does. That's what they say. The 4th house is how you establish your emotions, how you even them out, how you, especially for Libra, come to grips with everything I was saying, you know, the realities of your life, you know, standing strong and empowered in that reality, and actually changing a lot of your beliefs, maybe, like I think is really happening this year, certainly for me. But it's balancing your way, you know, your life, your finances, and feeling good about it. You've got ships in the background, so things are coming up. You've got a rainbow here. One of the most beautiful things in the world, in life, right? A rainbow. I literally tear up every time I see one, because I think, gosh, that's just free, man. We can look up and see that. That's what we get in this lifetime, if you want to see things in that way. So that's beautiful for the 2 of you. It reminds me of partnership too, you know? Working through things and keeping that balance, keeping the foundation good. You know, calmer shores is the next beautiful message, and it's under the category of blessings or obstacles. Wow, isn't that refreshing? It is the swords, 6 of Swords, and it's definitely Libra. It's the energy of Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Now, I didn't mention, but the 30th of this month is our first of a series for a year and a half of the changing of the eclipses from what was Capricorn, Cancer to Gemini and Sagittarius, which is going to be a lot easier for a lot of people, myself included, if you're an air sign. And that is in the 3rd and the 9th house. So we'll go more further into that. But for now, it's about just working through and getting through the difficult times and going to smoother waters in your inner ship. And a lot of times they have a guide, because you can do it with your strongest intentions and motivations, which this new moon can really bring to life. If you've written those down, watch and see what can happen and what can affect you in the next month or longer. And then the eclipses, they'll last 6 months up to a year. The changes that can occur. That's going to be a very complimentary one for you, Libra. But the swords of the mind, and it's just, deciding, okay, I'm not going to over stress myself out. I'm not going to have conversations that are going to bring me down or listen to them. I know I want truth and justice. I'm going to straightforwardly look for that in my life and disregard the other, and being very cautious of my money, talking to people in, higher positions like doctors and bankers and people where you can invest and get the truth and the best way to handle those circumstances. Being careful about your health, of course, always, but in particular now. And just being sensible, right? Smoother waters, baby, for the two of you. No one, I can imagine, would think of that as an obstacle. And so I do see that as a very definite blessing for the two of you. And then last but not least, the category of finances. Very important for everybody, always, even in the spiritual world. We need money to survive and to thrive and, to kind of keep things balanced in our life. And you have the Hangman. So does that surprise me? No. The Hangman is representative of Pisces. Pisces has Neptune going forward in their sign on the 28th. So that's a week and a half. A lot of obscurity. Neptune is the planet of complete illusion, hidden truth, fantasy, escapism. A lot of times Piscean has that side to them. We have the shadow and the other, and wanting to escape the harshness of life, seeing everything and with rose-colored glasses, like it's all going to be okay, and that's their motto. And I believe that too. Not necessarily in the time frame we want, but at some point it does eventually do that, and it's all beautifully designed. And it's kind of being at peace with that. Things have stalled. We know that. Everything's moving forward, but it's not going to be instant. We're going to be patient. We've been patient all year. Seeing things from a different perspective, This is a man hanging upside down, but very, very peacefully if you look at his face. He's very content. He's listening to his guides, his inner tuition that will never let him down. And when money comes around, it can just be just in ways you didn't think before, but also ways you instrumentally made happen. Instrumentally. That's beautiful, never giving up, being patient. Yes, Aries has had to be really patient. I have an Aries moon. Not my strong point, patience. I've got it, but not in places that I would like to have it sometimes. So yes, just believing, just sitting and listening to your own wisdom about how you can improve your finances, ways to recognize that it is available, who to talk to, and so forth. So I really like those messages for this highlighted connection for today, which is November 15th. Halfway through the month already. Wow. Thanksgiving's coming. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to be safe. I know all about that, and I want to encourage people to recognize that, but I have faith in your ability to do so. So I'm not going to say more about that, but it is a beautiful time. So much to be thankful for. Oh, gosh. Okay, so let me read and pull an extra individual message for every single other zodiac sign in connection with Libra. And so we're going to just go around the zodiac from Aries. We'll go to Pisces. Pisces and Libra, I love it. Water and air. Now, Pisces is the very old soul of the zodiac, the 12th sign, a mutable sign, very adaptable. It's usually a fish in two different directions, going either direction, understanding the ups and downs, the currents of life. They feel so much. They have a lot of water in them. They're very fluid and very, capable of being a lot of places and understanding a lot of things. They have a lot of insight to spirituality. They also understand the changing aspects of life, the need to transform and regenerate and reinvent is a constant in our lives. We're seeing that all the time. We certainly see that this year. And a lot of people are feeling really good about it now. Not at the beginning, but once you get acclimated, right? Like with anything, you're like, huh. So for example, people having to work at home now, not having to spend that extra time to look all gorgeous. And then if you do have a Zoom call, kind of just like from waist up, but mainly not having to deal with traffic, which has gotten ridiculous in a very short period of time. I'm from this area. This is my Bay Area. Bay Area is my native, area. It's just changed immensely. So there's some beautiful things. That's all I'm trying to say. I like this connection a lot, Libra, and I've got so many Pisces friends. They're so caring. They're so selfless. They just have so much tenderness and genuine caring for others. And they tend to be looking as though they're fragile, but don't mistake them. There are definitely a couple of types of Pisceans. Some that are very vulnerable and impressionable, and they just take on everybody. They trust everybody. And they can be taken advantage for that very reason. They have this beautiful light in that spiritual side that people just automatically kind of want to come towards. And it can be very exhausting, and it can wear them down in a physical way, like an empath that's feeling all things, but at some point they have to shut that off. And they tend to do that. They need alone time. Out of all the signs, I have a Pisces rising. I mentioned being social as I was younger and thinking that was important to an extent, but I like being alone. Oh my gosh, it is wonderful. And mind you, I was from a family of 9 children, so it was a habit being around people, and you thought it was a bad thing at first, and now you're like, best thing ever. Love it. Let's see what your message is. Okay, you got the Ace of Swords. This is so beautiful because Neptune going forward, like I said, in Pisces, where it was a lot of cloudy, unclear, hidden agendas and misunderstanding and what's real, what isn't. It's just the opposite with this. Air element, again, very strongly coming through Libra and Gemini with this beautiful eclipse that affects us all. Clarity, truth, justice, just straightforward conversations, beautiful, beautiful, open, hearted and truthful things coming through, very strongly indicated. And aces are beginnings of conversations, instigating some, maybe starting a podcast or a YouTube channel. Communication is coming through very, very strongly. So the two of you might, besides the two of you just being friends and talking forever, might have something up your sleeve to start that's going to be very, very beneficial as time goes on. Okay, I'll leave it at that. That's gorgeous. I like that a lot. Then we go with Aquarius and Libra. Beautiful, both air signs. I know a lot of Aquarius. I have an Aquarius sister. Aquarius is a fixed sign, so yeah, she's, a lot of them, they're set in their ideas and opinions and ideals, and I mean, I too have that, but I think they're more stringent about it at times. They like to be leaders and tell people what to do, and they have the biggest intention of love involved, but you have to know that about them. That's usually the type of careers they go for. They want to be helping the world. They want that fairness. They want to communicate that. They want to learn and study. They're very good with words, very eloquent with written word and spoken word. And they want to share, and they want everybody to be treated fairly and equally, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then they're ruled by Uranus. Well, that's the planet of complete, unexpected surprise, bam, in your face. I think that's going exact on one of the with one of the planets this week, so don't quote me, but some shocking revelations are going to happen for a lot of us, okay? And that's you included in all of your relationships, Libra. So don't look at it immediately as uh-oh, because that can give you that feeling, right? No, I think it's going to be beautiful. You're going to come up with some interesting idea that seems to be out of the blue. It's going to be that beautiful influence of Uranus. It also could pertain to money, because Venus rules money, beauty, art, everything. It's just that beautiful, magical energy that comes around. So the two of you do really well together. Your beautiful message is, okay, 5 of Cups. Well, I get this. This is happening. This is a repeat. This is about feeling sad. There's been a lot of loss this year, and you cannot get around that. Now, for some of them, it's just so raw and it's so brand new. So there's a lot of feeling about that. I think predominantly with this, it's the emotion aspect of all of us. It is the sensitivity, like the cups, which are water signs that really feel with their emotions. But you know, the air qualities, the elements do as well. They don't show it, but of course they have it. They're usually in their mind more on how to figure things out and strategize and think things through logically. But I realize that you're recognizing what's lost, and just a remind you of you've got two cups standing up behind you. Could be this beautiful connection you have with Libra. Could be just knowing that no matter what else, it's okay to grieve for people and things that we've lost, circumstances, jobs, but just know there's always something right there for you if you want to see it and believe it and make it happen. This new moon is about that manifestation. So not to rush any type of grieving. Everyone takes that in their own time, but you've got benevolent, beautiful energies around you supporting you, and they'll be there for you always. So yeah. Then we go with Libra and Capricorn, which I was going to do, but Libra and Capricorn are I see that a lot. They're very different. You've got the earth and air, but Libra loves the tenacity and the grounded, down-to-earth aspect of all earth signs, but definitely Capricorn. Capricorn had most of the planets in its sign this year, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, so that's very much a taskmaster, focused, eye on the prize kind of thing. Hardworking, diligent, you know, constrained, and just how can I build upon wealth? I'm very interested in leadership. I'm very interested in authority, and I'm a cardinal sign like Libra is. So I want to have this constant idea and initiative going in me. I want to move and I want to make things happen. And like a goat, I want to see everything from the bottom up, just leveling up, right? Being around that energy is really important right now. And like I said, with Venus, any energy is going to be good. But having Jupiter in Capricorn can be very beneficial for you in some capacity with this connection. You're beautiful. Your message is the Three of Wands. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's seeing the success, seeing the future right in front of you. You know, the ships are coming in. Utilizing that energy, you recognizing the support. It's three, it's more than one, it's definitely more than the two of you, and just being really, really focused and mastering that ability you have and taking it as far as you can go. Fire energy, you know, we've got a lot of fire energy in us, you know, somewhere in our chart we have a fire sign. It's just how it works, you know, when you look at the houses. But you may have fire in your chart as well, Libra or Capricorn. So this is coming up pretty strong, but it's beautiful. It's triumph, it's victory. And then you have that beautiful symbol of the dove, which is peace. And peace is Libra, and peace is calming the shores. So yeah, beautiful connection, beautiful message. Sagittarius and Libra, I love it. That's the air and fire, which is always a very beautiful combination and seen many, many times in the higher percentile. Well, Sagittarius is a mutable sign. They are ruled by Jupiter. That is their ruling planet. So they have this beautiful kind of positivity and optimism about them. You know, they know how to be in the right place and meet the right people. They work hard at what they do, and they're very interested in studies as well. That's very exciting for Libra. They will take Libra places they've never been and speak in ways that they may not have discussed, like philosophically, but not necessarily because Libra loves, you know, the occult and the mystical things, and that's a part of them. They're psychic, and they love being in touch with the esoterical parts of life, and so does Sagittarius. You know, that's a very key component for the compatibility. Sagittariuses are just fun and exciting and adventurous. They have a beautiful, fiery, you know, energy about them that I find contagious. And they have that arrow, and they're half man and half horse, so they love to travel. And, you know, who doesn't love to travel? A lot of people don't, but I know a lot of Libras do. So even if it isn't happening now, you're planning it. And you may be doing little outings, you know, little staycays, and having beautiful time right now. Just this beautiful Venus energy is really coming through. You have the King of Pentacles. Whew! I'm sorry, the page. I'm blind. Well, the page is the beginning. That's that youthful thing. That's the initiation. Something having to do with money, your fundamental, your ground, your work, your maybe where you're living. Maybe you're going to incorporate a second job that is out of the home, because that would be something that would be, you know, part of your fundamental practical side of you. Saving money, which a lot of people are doing. They're not going to rent their, you know, offices anymore because they can't really go to them. New information right around the corner. We have this new moon. Watch and see what happens. I lit this candle for everyone. I send huge love bombs to the global community, you know, just to send you amazing energy and knowing that, you know, there's unlimited possibilities. This is really wonderful, and maybe moving in together. I don't know, something new. Like I said, that page has that youthful kind of energy, and it could be just the kid-like energy you have together, because that's what you get with a lot of Sagittarians. They seem to be youthful their whole life through. Don't be surprised if you come into connection somehow with a Sagittarius, even if this isn't the main connection right now. Something's coming up. Then we have Scorpio and Libra. Well, I see this a lot. And, you know, I have a fair amount of Scorpio in my chart, my natal chart. So there's even more of an attraction for me. But it's always been pretty much a common denominator. Whether it's really long-term is a different story, because you have different approaches. There is that water, boy. There's that deep aspect of Scorpio, and the planet ruling them is actually, in more modern times, Pluto. That's, like I said earlier, that's all about transformation. And they know about that from the deepest part of them, because that has been their ruling planet. But historically, it was Mars. So as a water sign, they have a lot of intensity and fire, and they're going to stand up for what they believe, boy. They're loyal to the end. They're pretty much real, authentic kind of people and seek the truth. They don't want anything but that around them. They can smell it and sense it a mile away. Very psychic, very secretive at times, very magnetic and intensely, you know, passionate in many ways. Your message is the moon. It's so perfect. Thank you, Spirit. Well, the moon is in, you know, Scorpio. You're feeling the moon, you're feeling this vibe. I think it's working in your favor, and I think it's going to be a beautiful time, a beautiful experience that is going to go and stand the test of time. Anything hidden's coming out, conversation-wise or anything, you're going to find out, and that's so important. You know, Libras are very, very open about a lot of things. I mean, I know this is a general statement, but for the most part, they want to communicate, they want the truth, they want to bring it out. It's not always easy to get it out of all Scorpions, but when you get it, it's going to be the truth. So more power to the two of you. This is beautiful. This is your deepest intuitions too, and utilizing them, because they're going to be strong, particularly now. And I must say, my dreams have been very prominent. I know exactly what I dreamt last night, which is weird, because a lot of times I haven't been able to remember. And I'm getting some really beautiful insights, and my intuition and psychic abilities have been kicking in. I think it's a blessing. Then you go to Libra and Virgo, one of my favorite compatibility, totally different, Earth and Air, but Earth is very, very grounded, practical, reliable, you know, resourceful, very hardworking, very much caring. You know, Virgos care a lot about others. They are going to perfect whatever they do so they can be out there to help you. That's the end of the story, okay? And they are hardest on themselves, so don't let them get that way, Libra. Bring them that balance, okay? And let them know they're exactly right the way they are. They don't have to be a specialist in every field. Come on now. No, it's a beautiful trait, right? And they love nature, and they love meditation and natural things a lot of times, you know, natural medicines, which is very appealing, I think, to a lot of Libras. They're a mutable sign. They're ruled by Mercury. So now that Mercury went station forward and is going to be that way for a while, communication is good. And then the Venus aspect in Libra right now, it's beautiful. You have the High Priestess. Here we go from the moon to the High Priestess. Such incredible intuition and recognizing your higher powers. You know, this is the ultimate. This represents Pisces, so that's coming really strong. This Neptune going forward is going to clear up so many unknown things for everybody. But I like this a lot. You have an intuition of knowing you two are good. You're going to be friends or partners or whatever it is for a lifetime. Maybe you've been in other lifetimes. This could involve, you know, past lives. I like that a lot for you. That's a major arcana. Both of those are. Those are important messages that need to be said. Then we go with Libra and Leo, which I love. There's that fire and that passion. Woohoo! Yeah, very, very, very passionate, these Leos. Leos are a fixed sign. So yeah, they kind of want to be in charge, and they want to, what they say pretty much has to go. I have a Leo brother. I had two. I lost one. You know, he's the most amazing guy and the most incredibly talented, world-renowned magician. I bring him up ever so often. But yeah, he was taken in, it was 3.5 years ago now, but it seems like yesterday. And I miss him every moment. Both of them are actors or slash the magician, and my other brother is an actor, so he's always on stage in a sense. But it's interesting because it's so perfect for Leo. I mean, he's fit into his purpose in life, you know, and he does a great job at that. But when he tries to be a little bit, you know, I just like, mm-mm. And, you know, he may express himself or lose his temper on occasion, but he's a beautiful, wonderful, heart-centered man. And he wants to do and be extravagant with everybody, and especially if you're the one he loves, he will focus on that. And so good vibes, ruled by the sun, you know, powerful, energetic, vitality, just, you got to give him credit for having that stamina, you know, and strength. Strength card comes up with Leo. Your message is the Queen of Cups. That's about love. That's about creativity. Leos are very creative, very much into artistic things. And when it's the queen of anything versus the king, it doesn't mean you're a woman. It means that the more feminine side, the more maternal aspect comes out. The nurturing side, the receptive side, right? The feelings come through. Well, both of you have that in spades, and it's a Cancer, Scorpio. Here we are again with Scorpio season, Scorpio new moon, very prominently coming through. But it's beautiful. It feels right. It feels like it's wanting to give, wanting to be vulnerable and to forgive. If there's any restrictions that have come up in your relationship, that will be forgiven and let go of, you know? That's what we need to do more of anyway. And this year, I think, is really bringing people together in that way. Certainly on a more intimate, you know, scope. So that's beautiful. And then we have Cancer and Libra. This is all the time too. And one of my best friends that we moved out into our first apartment was a Cancer, and then she moved away. She's been gone for like 30 years. It's just you never forget a friend like that. That was before boys and just we would laugh till we cried. She was very sensitive and, you know, very caring and creative and artistic and loving. And just like the best friend I could ever ask for, you know. And then that went away. And we had a little falling out because a man came into the picture. I mean, you know, it's just what happens. We weren't really mad at each other. It was just time to change, and that happens. So I always hold a place in my heart for it. But I know that she remembers, and she's sentimental because she always was. Before any kind of thought about, you know, phones or, you know, computers, for heaven's sakes, we would write notes to each other. We'd see each other a day. She actually lived with me at my house before we moved into our first apartment. Thick notes to each other. I mean, it was awesome. So yeah, they're very giving and everything, but don't hurt them. They won't forget that. And you know, let them know that they are loved and that, you know, you can trust and they can trust. That's important for them. And communication is key. You have the Seven of Cups. So there's so many options right now. And the illusion part comes to mind because of Neptune not quite going forward. And then it'll take a while when it does. There's that illusionary kind of new moon, just like what's really happening. What is my strongest desire right now? Between the two of you, what do you want to go in together? Do you want to just kick back now? Or are you at the retirement age and you want to think about that beautiful, you know, retreat home you're going to go to? Are you interested in starting yet a new project together and making a bunch of money and feeling really fulfilled in that? The opportunities and the list is endless, right? But being very careful of what you choose, not being misguided. Go with your gut. You know, Cancer's ruled by the moon. They understand very deeply their intuition. more than a lot of people. They are actually very prone to getting messages and guidance through their dreams. So very psychic, like I said, very capable of knowing things, understanding things. And so choose those cups that are going to help both of you, you know, and don't be distracted by too many shiny objects, as it were. Then we have Gemini and Libra. I love it. I'm actually going out with a friend later today who's a Gemini. And she's one of, what, 3 people that I've seen in 7 months? You know, it's like, so it feels good. See her every 2 or 3 weeks. We're both air. We both have a lot to talk about, but she's super quick and super witty, and she's just always energetic. And I'm just like, ooh, I send her hidden and outwardly messages of calm and peace and tranquility. And you know, they are a mutable sign, always interested in all sorts of things. They want to speak, they want to communicate, they want to share that message. They're great teachers, professors, you know, they have great YouTube channels. You know, you want to listen to them. There's something about it that's very engaging, and you know, but changeable, fickle. You know, one time you may see them in one light and then the next another. They're known as the twins. The duality is definitely there, but you got to love them. And they have the biggest hearts, and they care about fairness and justice and all in the end, and they love relationships. And you have the 9 of Cups. Whew, wishes fulfilled. Yes. That feels really good. I like that. So whatever you guys have been thinking about, what you're going to do together, or maybe just having fun and going on a trip and just taking it easy. Well, the eclipse is going to affect you a lot, Gemini. But I think it's going to be beautiful. And I think this year's been tough on all of us, but I think financially, you've actually come through pretty well versus a lot of other signs. Like, you'll get spurts of money just coming in and then not. And then another spurt, and you made it work really well. I think you've been working hard, and you're going to see a lot of that. Changing energy that's going to be lighter and more synchronistic with you when we have most of the planets going into Aquarius starting next month. Beautiful energy, happy, festive, celebratory, creative. Whatever you're wishing for, it's coming through. That's beautiful. Then we have Taurus and Libra. Now, Taurus and Libra, they're both ruled by Venus, so they have that beautiful kind of synchronistic understanding, interest in luxury and beauty and feeling good. All of the senses, taste, smell, touch, are heightened when you have your ruling planet is Venus. Tauruses are grounded, they're hardworking, they're a fixed sign, they can be very stubborn and bull-like, which is what their symbol is. But when it's directed towards you and wanting to work things through or help you and be dedicated to you, that's the kind of stubborn you want, right? Bring it. What else can I say? Yeah, they're really pretty even-tempered, and they're kind of laid back a lot of times, but when they're mad, it can build up and build up. Look out. You don't want to be in their path, okay? Don't rub them the wrong way on purpose, for heaven's sakes. You don't want to do that, Libra. You want it to be loving and kind, and they feel that and sense that. And they want to be around in some capacity for a long, long time. They want to be committed. They don't like to just fool around. They tend to want to commit. And you have this beautiful message of the Hierophant. Well, there you are for commitment. This is serious, you know, people in, you know, higher realms, like priests, some kind of religious sect, some, you know, rite of passage, marriage, matrimony, you know, these are the type of things that come from this. And definitely your own spiritual understanding of, once again, who you are, being very in touch with that. But I feel like marriage might be in the picture, or some kind of commitment. And I just said that before I pulled this. Let me know, please, if that's happening, or you know about that, or someone that you know is a connection of Libra and Taurus. This is a long-term thing, and it sounds and feels really, really good. It's not like you rushed into it, but this is the year. And I wish you well and great happiness and love. And then we have back to Aries. So those are all of the beautiful messages for every single individual sign with Libra. And I'm going to finish with your oracle messages that I love and I think are super insightful and filled with wisdom and upliftment and joy and all the beautiful things that we want when we get messages. And so I'm going to just shuffle a little bit. This will be for all the beautiful, beautiful Libras. in this wonderful world of ours, because it's a beautiful planet, and it's what we make of it. And all your connections for today and onward, okay, November 15th and onward, and you have the beautiful message, just breathe. Kind of want to cry. I can't really emphasize enough the importance of breath. I mean, you hear about it, certainly in yoga, you hear about it in many aspects, but honest to God, if I didn't do that this year, I don't know what I would have done. It instantly calms you. It's really good for the lungs, and it just kind of, you know, when you're having those times where you're just like, you feel like you're going to lose it, literally. Breathing heals it and pushes it through and keeps it from being stagnant. And it's like showing your inner guide that. Look at this beautiful illustration. Always being in touch with that. It's there for you, boy. And it's number 4. 4 is about balance and stable, and, you know, and that's what Libra's about, right? That's what this year is. I know it seems strange, but yeah. So many beautiful things are going to come from this year that we haven't seen. A lot has been seen, but, you know, it'll just continue to come, and that's really beautiful. I'll read to you what the message is for number 4, Just Breathe. And this is John Holland, and I'm using the Gilded Tarot for the Tarot. So what do we have for 4? Oh, I just missed it. Okay, there we go. Lead. You got this, Libra. Keywords are guide, prioritize, act, structure, effort, and reason. In matters of the heart, the energy of this card can both help and hinder. Examine the role that you play in your relationship. Do you take the lead and guide the direction of the relationship, or do you follow the other person? There's that balance that's always necessary, and I know as being a Libra, this what is it called when you're codependent? See, it's been so long since I have been. I'm like, what? But I was. That's what this is saying. Lead or do you follow? If you lead, are you forcing your will on another person? If you follow, are your needs being met? A solid relationship involves give and take, lead and follow. There has to be an even exchange of energy. And this is true for all relationships. This card reminds you to guide, not dominate. I like this. This is really important because I know for myself, I won't accept any relationship that doesn't have that foundational energy to it, because I already have, and I learned a lot, and I'm grateful I did. But I too have to always keep that in mind about how I am approaching people. The affirmation is, I ensure that my relationships are healthy and that each person's needs are met. Isn't that beautiful? So then I'm going to finish with your Super Attractor Manifestation card, which is all about feeling the life into existence that we want. Without that feeling, the manifestation process is not going to happen. It's absolutely part of the key ingredients in the law of attraction you hear about all the time. But it's a simple one. Like attracts like. You cannot expect or want abundance when you have a scarcity, lack of emotion feeling. Let us see what your beautiful message is, Libra. When I'm tuned into the energy of abundance, I become abundant. Like and like. And there's the fruit right there to pick from. That's available to all of us. I want to be tuned into the energy of abundance. And I feel like this beautiful new moon in Scorpio, the intensity of wanting and really recognizing what it is we want, because we've gone deep and we're not going to accept anything else but the best, is really going to help utilize this. So I really appreciate once again you being here. I hope you enjoy your reading. And come on back. I'll do a mid-reading start next month, or excuse me, next week. And then I do them every day and every month. So you're always welcome. Let me know you're here though, okay? It really means a lot, you know. Thumbs up is great. All of those variables. YouTube really likes it too. So until next time, enjoy this beautiful time and all your connections. I love you and take care. Bye for now.